Hey, I'm Rob from JTRpodcast.com and today I'm going to show you how to play Santa Maria. This is a game for 1 to 4 players, plays in about 90 minutes, designed by Olaf Svensson and Christian Admundsson Usby and is published by Aporta Games. You're establishing and building a colony using migrant workers to activate buildings, produce resources, form shipping routes and more. And at the end of the game, the happiest colony will win. Now let's take a look at setup and gameplay for the basic game. For setup, shuffle these scholar and bishop tiles, put 3 of each in their space, remove the rest from the game. Put the 4 starting shipment tiles with the orange sails on their spaces randomly. Put the 30 standard tiles with the white sails face down shuffled. Put the 3 one space tiles on their space. Shuffle the expansion tiles, lay out 5 of each of the 2 types, keep the rest in stacks face down. Put out 3 blue dice per player and roll 3 white dice per player and place them under their relevant number. Put the year marker on year 1. Give each player a colony board, use side A for the first game, and 6 monks of their colour. Players place a token on the religion and conquistador track and the market, and choose a random start player. Give each player 2 wood and 3, 4, 5 and 6 money in turn order. Each player takes a blue die, rolls it and places it next to their colony board. And now we're ready to start the game. The game's played over 3 rounds, or years as they're called, but before we start I want to go over a few small rules. You can't have more than 3 resources of one type as shown on the colony board. If you would gain more, instead gain 1 coin for wood or grain and 2 coins each for sugar, gem or gold as shown on the colony board. And also gold counts as a wild resource. Now the game is ready to begin. Players are going to take turns taking 1 of 4 actions. The first is expand your colony. Pay the cost on the tile, take it and place the expansion tile in your colony. The costs are shown on the back of the respective size tile and on the main board. The tile may be rotated in any way but can't cover another tile or anything pre-printed on the colony board. The row of available tiles is not replaced until the following round. The second action is activate a single building. Add coins to a building without any coins or dice on it to take its action. You use 1 coin to activate a building and then additional 1 coin for each building you've activated with coins this round. For example, the first building costs 1 coin, the second building costs 2 coins, etc. And I'll explain each of the building actions when we talk about the third action you can take, which is activate a row or a column. Use a white die from the pool or a blue die from the play area to activate the matching row or column. And the white dice are for columns, the blue dice are for rows as it says on the player board, and you can't take more than 3 white dice per player per year. Players can pay 1 coin per pip to change the die side up or down, but dice don't wrap around from 6 to 1. With a white die, activate vacant buildings from top to bottom on a column, then place a die on the last building of that column. With a blue die, activate vacant buildings from left to right in a row, then place a blue die on the rightmost building of that row. A vacant building is any building that isn't covered by a die or coins. Let's take a look at those buildings now. Production, gain the resources shown. For example, this space gives you 1 grain and 1 sugar. Resources and coins are stored on the colony board. Happiness is also kept on the colony board and is kept face down. Trading, pay the top amount to gain the bottom amount once. Shipping, pay the cost of the shipping tile, place it face down in the same section of the colony board and replace the tile. For example, this tile will cost 1 gem and give you 2 happiness at the end of the game. Conquistador, move 1 space on the conquistador track, gain a gold if a symbol is passed and go on top of any tokens you land on. If you gain conquistador movements and you're already at the end of the track, you won't move any further. Religion, move 1 space on the religion track, pay up to 1 or 2 grain to move 1 or 2 extra spaces. When passing a monk, take 1 from the supply and put it in 1 of the 10 spaces where you haven't already placed a monk. You can place it on a space where other players have placed a monk, but you'll have to pay those players 2 coins if they've got a monk in that space. The scholar tiles will give a permanent effect. For example, this one lets you take each trade action twice. The bishop tiles will give endgame scoring. For example, this one will give you endgame points for completing squares within your colony. Each bishop tile costs 2 happiness, which are points at the end of the game. The missionary stations give a one-time income of the resources or happiness as shown. The religion track does not reset throughout the game, and if at the end of the religion track for each space you would move, gain a happiness token. When passing a blue die, take 1 from the main supply, roll it and add it to your supply. The fourth action is to retire. Move the player's token from the marketplace to a retirement space and take the action. These give you 2 coins, a religion action, a conquistador action, a shipping action, or a 1 square colony tile. Then get shipping income from top to bottom once per ship depending on the row it's in. For example, if you have 2 ships in the top slot, you'll gain 4 coins. There are also free actions you can take at any time. Sell one basic resource for 1 coin or an advanced resource for 2 coins. You can also buy a basic resource for 3 coins. This is shown on the player board. And when everyone retires, the year will end. Gain happiness for the Conquistador track are shown on the board below the year marker, with tokens lower in the stack counting as ahead. For example, at the end of year 1 in a 3-player game, the player furthest ahead will gain 6 happiness. Reset the Conquistador track, remove coins and dice from any colony boards and set up for a new year. Discard any unclaimed expansion tiles and lay 5 more out of each type. Re-roll and place the white dice, then players re-roll and keep their blue dice. The player closest to the top of the retirement track is the new start player, and play goes clockwise. Players return their tokens to the market square and advance the year marker. And the game ends at the end of the 3rd year. Now players will sell any resources they have in the same way they would with the free action, and then they'll gain 1 happiness per coin. For each full row and column of buildings, players gain 1 happiness per colonist printed in that row or column. Be aware that some individual squares have multiple colonists. Gain happiness for scholar tiles you have activated with monks. Lose happiness for bishop tiles, then gain happiness if you fulfilled their criteria. Flip harbour tiles and gain happiness as shown on the bottom of those tiles. And the player with the most happiness wins, and tiles are broken by the player who is higher up on the retirement track at the end of the game. That's Santa Maria, a tile placement resource management game. Please like this video if you found it useful, share it to let others know about it, and subscribe to the channel for more how to play videos as well as other board game related content. You can find me on Twitter at JTR Podcast, or find my blog and podcast at jtrpodcast.com. I've been Rob, aka Jesta ThaRogue. Until next time, keep on expanding your colony.